Welcome back to Guiding Tide Season 2. We are so excited to be here with you today and alongside a new guest that we will be introducing to you in a couple of minutes. To recap, we discussed tons of things on Season 1 that I think everybody could relate to, especially opening up about anxiety, depression, schemas, and other things that we touched upon. But bringing it back to Season 2, bringing in new guests, we have a new light of what we'll view other things in the way that other people view things. So today we have Hailey, my cousin, who is near and dear to my heart. And so I'm excited to kick off Season 2, Episode 1 with Hailey, Mahesh, and Jeff. If you guys want to say hello.
Hey guys, welcome back to our podcast. I'm really excited for what we're going to be doing this season, and to jump off what Jess was talking about. We covered a lot of area, defining anxiety, defining depression, and but talking about it in a very real way of how it affects our lives instead of being more clinical about it. This season, we want to bring guests on that share their actual experiences and their struggles and how they've overcome their struggles or how they're coping with their struggles or how they need help and support around their struggles. We have Hailey with us today, who's going to talk to us about her journey in dealing with her conflicts and how she's overcome the hurdles that have come her way. And I think a lot of you out there will connect with her story. And if you do, please drop a line in the comments and please hit the like button. We need to get the word out as to what we're doing here. And your feedback has been intense as far as people reaching out to us, letting us know that it struck a chord in them, that it's helped people, and it's helped them to connect with the larger community and understand that they're not alone. And that's our mission statement.
Yeah, honestly, Mahesh, I feel like it's something that hasn't been said enough, like how much our viewers and our audience influence what we're going to do next. We want to hear from you. We need to hear from you. And sorry to jump in. No. But like my excitement for Season 2 is like, the truth is like none of us have gotten out of our own way on our own. We rise together. We learn from each other. It's rare to just kind of figure this stuff out isolated and alone, right? I guess it happens. But, more hands make light work or whatever the saying is.
Yeah. I mean, developing that community and identifying the people in your circle that can help you get through hard times is important. And there's no better way to find out who's on your side, right?
Yeah.
Like when you're struggling, you really find out who your true friends are.
Oh,
and
my God, yeah.
The supports that you could honestly go to and be honest about your pain, and that's a crappy way to find out, but it does happen, but it's definitely looking at that as a tool to help you identify, well, what are my choices here? How do I get through this issue? How do I struggle with my alcoholism? How do I struggle with my anger? How do I struggle with my depression? And once you get to that point of deciding, I am going to do something about this, which we covered extensively in Season 1, it's really now looking at actual, not to be too clinical, but like looking at case studies, looking at actual people who have gone through this and what they've done about it. So without further ado, Hailey, welcome to the podcast.
Welcome.
Thank you. Very excited to be here.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you
It's
for
no
having
accident you're here.
me. Yeah, no, clearly not.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Hailey. I'm 23 years old. I live not too far away from Jessica. I have been struggling with anxiety and depression since I was a little bit before I turned 16. Just the amount of losses that I've experienced at that age and the amount of things that I've gone through in my lifetime at only 23 seems to be quite large. I feel like not a lot of people can say that they've gone through what I've gone through at such a young age. And I'm excited to be here and to share my story, a little bit of it, to hopefully be able to shed some light on what it's been like to deal with anxiety and depression at a young age, and, have someone of a younger age be on the show to kind of show and, explain what it's like to live a life in
dismay.
Yeah, in dismay. So
I mean, one thing I'll immediately say about that, Hailey, is being somebody who kind of like professionally day to day is in the environment of people receiving treatment for different mental health issues. There is absolutely a generational divide or separation. What's the clinical term to this, Mahesh? Like, Hailey, your generation doesn't
It's mindset. It's
carry, an experience, depression and anxiety symptoms the same way that mine did, or the same way that your
Right.
cousins did. And no one's, battle is heavier or more intense than the others. But,
Right.
when it's different, it's hard to reach. It's hard to
yeah,
understand, and it's hard to formulate solutions that are right-sized, right?
Right.
Yeah. Can you, I guess, maybe talk a little bit about some of the things that you feel like, maybe in a broad sense, kind of contributed to you healing and you finding some peace and contentment in your life?
yeah. I mean, so to kind of like start off where the anxiety and depression like started, I guess. I lost my grandmother 8 years ago to a battle of stage 4 colon cancer, which was awful, obviously.
It happened so fast, too.
It happened so fast that she left us. But I lived with her. She raised Jessica, and I lived with her. So she was always a constant there. And so that was like a really tough loss that my family went through.
Especially at the age that you were at, I feel like it was so delicate.
There was such
There's a lot of moving parts at that moment, too.
I was, like getting my license the year after, like I turned 16, so I had like a party, and just there was such like big life moments that were coming up that just always a part of me felt missing, and I still do to this day, which I think like a lot of us,
Sure.
when you lose someone close to you and there's things coming up, you obviously you feel that void. But even just kind of like what you guys were talking about before, like with finding friendships, and then like, or finding people that like will help you through a journey, but then the people that won't, type of thing. I experienced a lot of that with someone who I thought like I was going to be friends with forever, and then it just kind of like turned into nothing very fast. So I think
Now, this was a girlfriend of yours?
Yeah, this was a girlfriend of mine. She, long story short, just needed things from me and my family that I couldn't provide to her, and one day just stopped talking, stopped reaching out, stopped.
And this was one of your best friends, right?
Yeah, one of my best friends. I would have called her one of my best friends. And stopped reaching out. And then 6 months after all this happened, it was my cousin died of an overdose. So just like, yeah, so just like there was never a break. Like there was never, it was like, it was, okay,
one chaotic
it was
event
like,
after
okay,
another.
the friend, okay, my grandmother, okay, my cousin. And then I came to a point where it was like, I need to do something about all of these feelings. And coming from parents that are not from here,
That generational.
the generational divide, I think, kind of was a bit of a struggle, because I wanted to tell my parents what was going on, like in my head of like, I don't feel okay, but how are they going to take it being from a generation where it was like, oh, just
Swallow it and push
just
it under the rug.
just don't, just, yeah, exactly,
Push
like,
right through it.
yeah,
Mhm.
just keep going, like you'll be fine. Like there was fright there, like I was afraid. But then one day I just like, I couldn't take it anymore. Like I walked to my mom crying, like I can't, like I remember vividly being like, I can't do it by myself anymore. and she like understood. She even had to do like her own like looking into things. My dad too, like asking a lot of questions. So shout out to them, because if not for them, then I wouldn't have gotten the help and like the resources that I've been able to get without their help. But
Thank
yeah.
God that they were
very like
receptive to it.
receptive, and that was like kind of the fear, was just like, if I'm going through this, like, will they be able to understand?
And Hailey, was there an element that they already did understand, or almost were like could sense something and were waiting for you to come to them? It's not always the case.
I don't think in this like particular stage in my life there was like them knowing that there was something going on. I mean, they obviously could tell like the loss of my grandmother was very like detrimental, because for my sister and I, it was a little bit different because she lived with us and whatnot. So there's just like kind of a lot of that type of thing, but I don't think they really could tell like that there was something going on,
something deeper than
something
what it
deeper
was,
than
yeah.
what it was.
Speaking to your point about when you were going to your parents and trying to explain to them what you're feeling, I just want to raise the issue that that's such a difficult process for anyone in adolescence through their early 20s, understanding where their parents are at that point. And I don't think we really talk about that often enough, you know, because here you are, you've got your parents doing their damnedest to raise you and take care of the family.
Also going through their own type of loss.
Going through their things,
breathing processes,
trying to navigate that, plus trying to navigate what their kids are going through. That's a lot.
And mind you, like, the cultural divide there is like they never grew up with the resources that are now available to us today.
Right.
So
it was never talked about.
No. And, you know, now.
Like, well, emotional issues are also always, in my experience, connected with shame.
Yeah.
Or there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this one's, you know, crazy. Or because they see
and God forbid somebody thinks you're crazy.
Yeah, you know, you might have to go to a hospital.
Yeah, right.
Or if your kid's crazy, it's because you're an awful parent, obviously.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
right?
like
the whole transference.
And I think one of the things that I said first off the bat when I started, you know, going through my healing journey was like, none of this is your fault. Like, I made it a point to say it to them, like, you have done nothing wrong in raising me, in raising my sister, because you can't control the circumstances that have come up in our lives that have made me kind of hold this stuff close to me.
Right.
If that's like a good way to say that. So,
well, it's interesting because you're going through arguably the worst period of your entire life. You're confused, you're grieving. Yeah. You know, you have this relationship with someone that you can't seem to make happy or something. Thinking back, like having the capacity to be like compassionate towards your parents and like, you know, like, that's huge. Reflecting back on that, like if you could speak to like the girl you were about like love and safety, like what would you say to her now?
Well, she certainly didn't know it was coming for her years late, like a couple years later. Because then on top of all that, I was in an abusive relationship mentally and a little bit physically. And
you didn't have the best friend to keep you safe.
I didn't have like protected. I also like, not for nothing, but like I graduated high school in 2020. So none of us COVID year.
No prom, no graduation.
Prom, no proper graduation. So I got the worst end of my high school career, where I could have
supposed to be the best years of your life. It's supposed to be the best years
of your life. And then like, just like, I never got to say like a proper, like, I don't want to say goodbye, like
farewell,
like you never got a good farewell. So like the friends I did leave in high school, like I never really was able to reconnect with them. We haven't had like a
reunion.
What's it called? We haven't had a reunion. I don't even know if we
will.
Be
this year? 2025 would be your 5-year reunion.
It would have to be this year. Yeah. And
I was going to say there might still be like scarring where you wonder if you're allowed to get together.
Yeah. Yeah,
I know, right?
Literally, because we were gonna get together, and then like the capacity of like 25 like became a thing, and they sold more ticket, like whatever. It was a whole thing. But I would, I mean, at the age that I would tell her to just keep going. Like, I think one of the biggest things for me was like I didn't want to keep going in the cycle that I was in, with the thoughts and the anxiety and the constant thinking, well, when is it going to go away type of thing.
Did you find ways to make it go away? Even temporarily?
That young, I don't really remember.
Did you journal?
Well, I started going to therapy.
Okay.
Right after Avad
you
passed.
also mentioned a dysfunctional relationship. Was that like trying to something there?
That was 2
that
years.
like freeing or something?
No. God. I mean, God, no. That was 2 years later, during COVID. So I guess like for me right now, I think of it as like it was just kind of like I was bored type of thing, and I was just like, oh, a boy, yay. Not yay for sure. It was awful. I was at my lowest point possible, health wise, mental wise, like physically and mentally, ill, like ill.
What happened? Like what?
It was just the constant, like I couldn't do anything right to satisfy this person. So, for example, towards the end of the relationship, I wanted to let me go to the middle, actually. I was in 2020. I started my undergrad at Bridgewater State. Very excited, very happy to go to school for psychology because I love the field, and I think studying behaviors and the way that our brains work is fascinating. And he was going to a different college at the time, 45 minutes away, almost, no, more than that, like over an hour away. And I would go and visit on the weekends, stay the weekends, whatever. It came to a point where I almost went to that school to satisfy what this person wanted. And this person wanted me to constantly be there, constantly be in his corner.
He wanted to have control.
For sure. Because, you know, I could say, hey, I'm going to do this, but it's like, oh, who are you going with? Who's gonna be with you while you go to Target and grocery shop? Like, no one, just me. Like, it was a constant having to say where I was, who I was with, what I was doing. And I just felt like going there was gonna just take over the control of like my entire life and existence. And I was very close to going because I was so trapped in this mindset that, like, to keep him not angry, I just needed to say, okay, and nod my head and do it.
In the moments where you would be like doing the things, would you feel like a feeling of like worthiness or validity?
I think at the time, because I was so blinded by what was going on, I did. And then like I started going to Jessica, and Jessica's house became like an outlet for me a safe zone for me to just say what I needed to. But even like going there was like an issue because
with him,
yeah, like just going anywhere without this person being there.
He got to my house and didn't even get out of the damn car to say hi.
Yeah, like
he stayed in the car.
He one time went to the house, had never met any extended family, and never even got out of the car to say anything to anyone.
Like he was in my driveway.
Like, and just like, what was your life like at this point in your life?
Oh,
give us a peek.
at this point. I think this was when I was going through what I was going through, but I was hiding it from everybody that I was struggling. So it made me feel better being there for her and knowing that like, okay, like seeing her the way that she was broken. So like the way that I am going through whatever I'm going through, I'm going to shove that down and I'm going to be there for whoever needs me to be there for them, because that's something I can do. I can show up for somebody else versus myself.
Yeah, she put on a good mask, because then years later when she expressed what she was going through mentally, it kind of, I was like,
No way.
Took everybody by surprise.
Shit.
Really?
Like, you were going through so much and said nothing to anyone. Like, not, and I wasn't like, obviously, I wasn't like, I'm gonna beat you up type of thing, but like she hit it. Like, she hit it so well just to kind of help me. And, you know, I tried to reverse
Psychology.
the card.
Well,
back
there's a
to
lot
her.
there.
It's
Yeah.
a lot to unpack.
That's a lot.
There's
It's a lot.
There's a lot.
I got to slow this down a little bit because there's so many different layers going on. We started with talking about your anxiety and depression, and then the relationship came later on.
Yeah.
I want to bring it back to the root issues.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when you say you were feeling anxiety and depression, how did you define that? Because your anxiety is different than my anxiety.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
Different mindsets and whatnot.
Yeah, right.
You know, some people just can't. They say, I can't get out of bed Monday and go to work.
Mm.
And I'm like, I have to get out of bed and go to work.
Yeah, I do it with a
That's
tight
my
chest.
anxiety.
Yeah, you know,
I do it walking on eggshells. I got to do it.
right?
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like, no, just shut up and do it. And I'm a very shut up and do it mentality
Right.
to myself.
Right.
You know, no
Punitive.
excuses kind of thing.
A little punitive.
Yeah, a little bit. And that's, you know, from, you know, how you were raised and,
Oh yeah.
you know, how much value you put into something. And, you know, but so point being, my view of my life is different than your view of your life.
Right.
Right. So for the viewers out there who are saying, okay, she's saying she felt anxious. How? So what were the things that were going on to make you feel like anxiety? Because I define anxiety as like this paralysis that I just can't function. I'm afraid of everything that I'm going to do. I'm going to do wrong.
Yep.
I'm going to be judged.
Yep.
I cannot make a move,
Yep.
you know? So that's how I would define it.
I can relate to that a little bit, like during kind of more so the relationship, but before that, the root of it
Yeah.
was like tightening of the chest. So like something would happen in my environment that made me anxious, and the immediate effect was in my chest. It would like tighten. And it like felt like I couldn't breathe. And to this day, on occasion, it happens when I'm anxious about whatever it may be, school, work, except life, just life in general, where like I hyperventilate and I go into like kind of like a panic.
I've seen the hyperventilating, like the bag breathing.
Yeah,
type
like
of-
I'm like,
So was it around, just to be concrete and more specific for the viewers, was it around deadlines? There's a test coming up, or we're having company over for dinner?
During a test, me and Tess don't do well. I'm constantly like I have like the test anxiety major.
You're asking like what were some of the triggers?
Yeah.
right?
The triggers.
Yeah.
Testing was a trigger. At the time, facing big crowds, like if I had to do like a presentation, talking about like my feelings and my emotions to like my parents, asking them sometimes to like do things, like go out with my friends, like if it was something that was like a little like
Out of the norm.
edgier, like, hey, can we go to the mall and then go to dinner type of thing, like, and like
Sure.
and like my mom, like it's funny because like my mom is like, okay, yeah, sure, go ahead, but like with my dad, you have to like explain to him in increments how it's going to happen, and you have to do it like not a day before but like 2 days before, but then he's going to forget the day anyway. So it was like anxiety of like getting the plans like across, I guess. So that was something. Driving at the time when I first started driving, we had a tragedy in my town. 2018 it was. Four Stoughton boys, juniors in high school, died in a car crash, and
Wow.
I got my permit like 2 days after they had passed, because the school went on like complete, like, they didn't do any work, nothing. They ended up having like a field day for us to just like be
Mental health
together,
day, if you will.
be together. Like, you don't have to be at school, but if you want to be surrounded by people, like, here's the plan for the day. So I took the day to go get my permit because I didn't have much time like during the week. So driving was a huge thing, because I was like, oh my God, like, this just happened. Like, I don't want that to be me.
Sure.
So driving was another thing. Doctor's appointments. I have major white coat syndrome still to this day.
Does your blood pressure go up?
Oh yeah, my blood pressure is high at the doctor's always.
Really?
Yeah, I like regular, like, I check it every once in a while. Fine. When I get to the doctor's, it's high.
So the hyperventilating, right? The high blood pressure.
Yeah.
You get the dry mouth, sweaty palm thing.
No,
No.
not
Just
really.
My
curious.
palms are very sweaty right now.
Yeah, no. I get like a little bit like shaky, like,
Yep.
like, yeah, like a little bit shaky. My brain goes into a fog, like,
Mush,
just
if you call it.
mush, fog. I get sometimes, like, when I'm very overwhelmed with anxiety or just things, I get like an instant headache.
Yeah.
And that to me is debilitating. So
Yeah.
I have to lay down, and I can't do anything until like the headache is at least gone, that I can just like get up and walk to get like a glass of water, like, you know, like that type of thing.
It's a weird connection between your emotional and physical
My God, it's
state,
so weird.
because one triggers the other.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
And we will convince ourselves, in a state of anxiety, yeah, I can't meet up with you guys. You know, my stomach's all upset.
Yeah.
You know, because my stomach is upset because I've caused it to be upset because of my anxiety.
Another thing I did too was like avoid.
Sure.
So like, I would have plans set with girlfriends to go out for dinner or whatever, and I would cancel plans because of how anxious I was.
That would feed into the depression.
And that would feed into to the depression, because then I was alone in my room, and I wanted to be alone. But then I'm like, this is not
helping.
good.
Yeah.
Right. And then I would go to Jessica's and, you know, just kind of vent and be fine for whatever that meant for the time.
Played with Mina.
Played
That was
with
always
Mina.
a good time.
That was always a good time, even though she would yell at me. She still does.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
You know, it's fine.
She yells at everybody
That's
nowadays.
what you get. That's what you get. Playing with the 5-year-old.
Riding on that momentum, you know, Mahesh slowed things down and brought things back. I'm going to kind of fast forward and speed things up, because you know, you're starting to talk about solutions. At one point, I recall kickboxing kind of played a big role in you know, in your recovery or your healing journey.
Yeah.
What was it about physical movement that did for you what maybe talk therapy couldn't have done at the time?
Yeah. So at the time of me starting kickboxing, I was over 200 pounds of unhealthiness. I'd gone to the doctor, and they had said, you know, like, they had done a bunch of tests, and they had said, you know, like, if you keep going this route with your diet and not moving your body, like, the chances are, like, the borderline, like, PCOS kind of conversation came up, and I went into immediate terrifying panic mode, because I was like,
Could you explain to the viewers what PCOS is?
so it's polycystic ovarian syndrome, which basically kind of slows down the process of being able to have children one day.
I literally sat here when you said it the first time, shaking my head and had no idea what it was.
I'm sorry. So
Thank you.
Yes, yeah. So it slows down your system, and weight has a huge component to it. Your diet has a huge component to it. And at the time of this conversation with my doctor, it was the abusive relationship where I had put on so much weight of a combination of stress eating, but also just like not caring. I was just like, I'm going to eat 5 packages of Reese's peanut butter cups because it tastes good. And like, this is what is like keeping me going.
This is what's working for me right now.
This is what's working for me right now. So I think that was kind of like, so, and then when I got the, the pre-diagnosis, I guess you could say, it was just like, oh shit, I need to do something.
Yeah.
So changing my body was a huge thing for this other person because they didn't want me to change my looks. I was just like, I'm not really going to change that much. Like I need to lose weight. This isn't about you anymore. It's about me. Yeah. And I need to take me first. And like kickboxing kind of helped me find me. So
it helped you gain back that confidence that you didn't have.
Oh, yeah, I didn't have it. So
and maybe create an identity that you needed to.
It 100% did. I will always say that kickboxing was my like recovery. I will tell anyone like this is what did it for me. So in 2022, I started in August as a member, just having a good time. I died my first class. I was like, I don't know if I can come back here.
Joke,
like,
yeah.
I was like, it was so intense. Sure. I was like panting.
I went once and I almost puked. I was like, fuck.
Like this. I was like panting. Like I couldn't. Like I was like, I'm not sure if I can come back. But I loved I did love how intense it was deep down because I went back 7 days in a row after my first class. Like wow. I was so in it. Like
you're on fire.
I was so in it.
Yeah.
So
it lit something in you.
It just like was like something. There was something missing, and it was like that was missing. So a couple days later, my boss at the time, Michelle, came up to me and was like, "You should coach." And I was like, "Me? No, I can't do that. Like." Never trained like personal trainer. Like, don't you have to? I'm like asking all these questions. Another thing about the anxiety is like, for me, like I ask a lot of questions rapidly, and then like 10 minutes later, after the question burst, I call it a question burst, came out, I don't know what I just asked you.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
Do you do it as like a means of gathering reasons to disqualify yourself from doing the thing? Basically,
I was just gonna go there.
Yeah, basically. So
totally.
I was like, no, you need to be a personal trainer, but I'm not a personal trainer. So like, what do I have to do to become a personal trainer? And I
can't do that.
Like I can't do that. Like it immediately went to I can't.
Yes.
And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have been able to do it. Like she was like, no, but you can. And I was like, okay. But then in the back of my head, it's like, okay, but someone, on the other side doesn't want me to do this. So what do I do? So I went home, sat on it, talked to my mom, talked to my dad, because the first people I go to is them for advice, whether they
have the advice there or not.
Yeah.
They're the first people
They're the first people I go to. My mom was like, that would be cool, but like, what about school? Because I'm in my undergrad now. Like I'm halfway through. My dad was like, that'd be bitchin'. That'd be so cool if you did that. Like his attitude was like, yeah. So I was like,
that's great.
I just said, I literally just said, fuck it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna do it because if there's someone on the other side that is gonna judge me for putting myself forward, you can mock yourself out.
But that is such a turning point, though.
It was such a turning point.
And like, I really want our viewers to connect with that because who would think, like kickboxing would be the thing that changed you? Yoga, walking, getting a dog. There's something
finding purpose,
right? That gives you purpose. That gives you a new view of yourself that you didn't expect, and that surprise, is that spark you need to make that fire. Yeah. And then if you take care of it, you manage it, you kindle it, and let it grow and let it nurture you. Yeah. And be receptive to that nurturing. That's the biggest thing, is that you were throwing out questions to find every reason why you couldn't do it. And luckily this person was able to challenge you with that, in a supportive manner. Yeah. And I said, no, you can do it. Yeah. And once you're left with that and absorb that. Yeah. To combat these other misnotions that we have of ourselves. Yeah. I'm not worth it. I'm not smart enough. I'm not strong enough, whatever it is. that people go through, all the negative thoughts, we realize are just constructs that we created of ourselves.
We put up our own walls.
I really don't think anyone's like ever talked me into thinking that I could get better or something. It's like it's always come from within me.
Yeah, because it has to come from within you to
But I didn't have anything in me. Like I didn't have
any voice
at that time. I didn't have
a pot to piss in.
Yeah, I've literally never heard of that. No, I've never heard of that.
Really?
I just didn't. I just yeah. I never had that like. At that point, my self like voice, like the voice in my head was gone at that point. Because it was whatever this person was telling me was what I was just going to do to satisfy whatever that was. And like at that point, like we had kind of talked about this at one point, like it never satisfied me. Like it was just, okay, don't yell at me, I'll do it type of thing. Like, okay, don't say like I'm an idiot or like whatever. I'll do it. But then I can't tell you what clicked and about like me starting, this new journey. And I think it, like, actually now that I think like it was probably that someone saw something in me that I didn't see in myself.
Yeah.
There was a chance. I took a chance on this lady I didn't know, met her one time, took like 2 of her classes, and then she comes up to me and tells me I should be a kickboxing coach. Like that was
she saw something in you.
She saw something in me I clearly didn't see in myself.
That's a hell of a sidekick she's got.
Yeah,
right?
Like seriously. And I think that's kind of what like what did it for me. And like a lot of the anxiety inducing things kind of went away because I was talking in front of 20 plus people every single day when I started coaching. On a microphone for hours at a time. And it got easier, motivating them to keep coming back.
Right.
When at one point, I was one of them doing it for myself. And
what a turning point, right?
But that's a parallel of what Jess was doing with you.
Yeah,
when she was struggling with her own stuff.
Exactly.
But there must have been a feeling for you in being supportive that there was a strength. That you got something out of that.
Of course, because when I love somebody, I love them wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
So like seeing anybody struggle, or be in a bad way kills me.
Right.
So knowing that she was in a bad place, and knowing that I might be that guiding light for her at that moment in time,
you were drawn to that.
I was drawn to that because it was making me feel better helping her,
giving you validity, and giving you worth and purpose.
Yeah. It gave me purpose. That's the perfect way to put it. I had nothing to be purposeful about up until I was needed. Yes. And she needed me, and I was able to be there for her. Yeah. And then, years later, the shoe was on the other foot, and she was there for me. So, I mean, thank God it happened like that.
Yeah, it's paying it forward.
Yeah. I mean,
no, without a doubt.
I remember being so sad for her, but so proud of her for doing what she did, for taking the leap of faith like I did, like in finding help and doing something that was going to benefit her, Might
have been a little bit drastic at the time, but I mean, at that moment in time, that's what I needed.
But drastic, no matter what anyone says, it's not drastic. It's
what was needed. Yeah.
It's what you needed. I don't doesn't matter what anyone says.
Yeah.
I just to piggyback on what you're saying, we talked about this several times. There's so much ego involved. Because we judge ourselves by the actions that we take, right? And we're our own worst critic most of the time.
100%.
So judging ourselves is like, am I doing the right thing right away? No, probably not.
No.
Fall on your face a couple of times. You know what?
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Get knocked down a couple of times. It's good for you.
Get some calluses up there.
Yeah. Get some humility. It's okay. Humility's good.
Yeah.
You're not all that. But you can still strive to be all that.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you can still find the motivation to try to be all that, fine. That's where you need to be.
Yeah.
But just getting a gym membership doesn't mean crap, right?
I pay to keep my gym membership, my gym lights on. Like I'm just paying their light bill.
I'm putting somebody's kid through college.
At this point. Exactly. 100%.
I know.
And it's funny too, because like I, was like trying to go to the gym, like trying to motivate myself, but when there was nothing there,
Yeah.
I couldn't. What was I going to give myself?
Yeah.
Pick up a 5-pound weight and do some bicep curls, which was what was that doing? It was just like was making me feel a little bit better, that the fact that I was there and I was doing something physical, but
What's
there's
the
also a
reward
mental
from it?
component too.
Yeah.
There's that mental component that's like, okay, so
I'm investing in myself.
I'm investing in myself. And the thing is like, when I bought a membership before I became a coach, I was like, I'm an undergrad in college. I can't afford an $150 membership, but I'm going to get it.
You certainly couldn't afford to waste it either.
No.
Exactly.
Right?
Like, I was like, $150 a month, but like, I've been here already for 7 days in a row.
So the membership
And you're
paid for
going to tell
itself,
me
essentially.
that I'm not going to, like, it's going to be wasteful. Like, I don't, like.
What I'm hearing you like nail is like something I've always referred to with a phrase like attitude is everything.
Yeah.
And you can't change my attitude. You can give me reasons to change my attitude, or you can challenge me.
Right.
But I need to develop the correct inner dialogue. I need to talk to myself correctly. I need to motivate myself correctly.
Yeah.
I mentioned last season, and I think we made like a B-reel off of it, that, you know, similarly, I lost 100 pounds. I did
Wow.
it. I did it in my late 30s too. So
Wow.
yeah,
Good
it
for
was.
you.
Thank you. It was tough. But my kind of like coaching point, and I have another thing from my past that made me reflect, that resonated or whatever. It's like I started like feeling better, you know, accomplishing a workout. I knew I didn't know what I was doing, you know, like
Yeah, right,
I had some
right.
people like training and coaching, and
Right.
like I enjoyed working out with buddies, but when you go to the gym, you know, 5+ days a week, like you don't always have the luxury to work out
Having
with someone.
somebody
Yeah.
there, yeah.
So like on those days, to kind of like defeat my negative self-dialogue, I bought like a stupid $10 little tripod thing for my phone, and I started recording each segment of my workout and then like making a dumb TikTok with it. Chasing Moments is my TikTok. Shameless self-plug. But like
Find them on the TikTok.
I started like intentionally making these like not intentionally unserious workout videos, but like just like showing that like you can work out at your own pace, like your own way, and it doesn't have to be this like magnificently impressive production, and like still feel good about yourself, still receive physical results, emotional results, spiritual results. Like,
Yeah.
there's so much to that.
I need to get back on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
And Hailey fell off. She was trying to help me because we were going every Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah. And then I started school on Tuesdays.
Grad school.
So like it kind of fell off that I couldn't go with her.
Stupid education.
Right. What the hell?
I learned how to like talk to my
hard.
buddies again about like my stuff, like getting my stuff out, like in seasons where I don't have the luxury, you know, of healthcare or the ability to afford, you know, a talk therapist. You know, I get it at the gym. I get it in the relationships with the people at the gym that I only see at the gym.
I think that was like a huge thing for me too, is like
you built a new community.
I was 21 at the time. I was just turning 21 at the time, and
half your community died tragically too on you. Sorry, like your family, your people, like
and like I met people, you know, that I'm still friends with to this day that could be that have to me been like a parent figure. Even though I have great parents, my parents have always supported me, but they're at the age of like, they have so much wisdom and experiences where like, you know, I've shown them like, hey, I'm going through this, and whatever you walked in here with might be the same, might be different, might be whatever, but like we're in this together, and like we'll get through anything. And they are some of the best friends that I will ever have in this lifetime.
I don't talk about God enough on this show, but like I have beliefs and I live by them. But like my whole life, God has always worked through people. God has always like worked and spoken to me or whatever through the unexplainable people that show up at different times in my life with exactly what I need, you know, but there's also this inner component where what's the saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear or something. It's like, I need to be in enough pain. I need to be convinced enough that like the way I've been trying to pursue relief, like isn't relieving anything. Yeah, it's just not working, and I need something different. I need something new, but I don't believe in myself. So how is this thing going to work that I don't believe I can do? I needed to develop a new self-dialogue, and it sounds like you were able to do the same thing.
Yeah.
My other big moment of identification was I relate everything, besides co-occurring, depression, anxiety, OCD. I have a history of abusing substances and, relying on them as, maladaptive crutches and ways to, survive even. Like, there's periods in my life where I'd feel like I'd be dead. I would have taken my life if I didn't have drunkenness or drugs to abuse, really. But I relate a lot of things to my journey with that. And 7 months sober for the umpteenth time in my life, starting back when I was a 17-year-old. I was 7 months sober, and somebody asked me to be like a house manager of the sober living environment I lived in. And I like turned around. I was like, me? Like, you want me to be in charge of these people? And like, your coaching moment, just like the disbelief, like, I can't do that, like,
but somebody
I'll
saw the
screw it up.
potential in
I'll
you.
hurt someone, like,
No.
and it started the most transformational 2 years of my life.
Just because somebody believed in you.
Yeah. Unreal.
It's the power, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, why can't we see it within ourselves? That's like my question of the day. Why can't we see what other people see in us?
Yeah. I kept coming back to that season
deep.
1. Like, what can I say to get you to realize you're worthy, like that you have worth and value to you when you can't see it in yourself? No one's ever been able to really do that for me, I don't think. I don't know. But they did, because if I didn't have those
in one way they did
building blocks or the seeds they planted in me, I don't think I would have had the big realizations or epiphanies or moments that I had,
Now, Hailey, if there would be something that, you would want to tell your younger self, like, what would you say to your younger self looking back now? Like, all that you've accomplished within the last, I'm going to say 6 years.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's the last 8 years, I would say. What would you say to yourself?
Just to keep pushing, to keep going, believe in yourself. Like, like I said, there wasn't a lot left in me to keep going. And just to kind of like, to find that, like,
Find your niche.
Do what you need to do for yourself. Because at the end of the day, like, it's all you. Like, you are all you have. Like, you could have this big, like, group of people behind you, but it's what you it's the work you put into yourself that gets you through the hard times. And, you can look out for support and do what you need. But, like, ultimately, it's you.
You only have yourself to lean on, essentially.
Yeah.
I've been referred to as absolutely insufferable when I'm like in my cups, when I'm down and out and I'm in my cups. I have a friggin' answer for everything, right? And one of the best things a mentor used to say to me was, don't tell me it's not going to work. Prove to me it's not going to work. Go do it. And prove to me that it's not going to help you. And I'd be like, oh yeah? Fine, I will. And then I'd come back and I'd be like, all right, it worked. Like,
foot and mouth.
Yeah, it moved the meter a little bit, Don't tell me it's not going to work. Prove to me it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And good luck with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where are you taking yourself now? What are you've gone through this journey, right? Felt a lot of pain.
Yeah.
You've learned your lessons from your experiences, right?
Yeah.
So where's Hailey going in the next 5 years?
5-year question.
Anything
like
is
that.
possible.
Yeah, it does. It really
Masters in
does.
psychology, right?
No, so I'm actually going for a master's in applied behavior analysis.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll be a BCBA in 2027.
Nice.
Which will be here before you know it.
Which literally, like, I'm ending my first semester of grad school in like 2 or 3 weeks, which is insane.
Incredibly important work, though.
Yeah.
It really is.
There's like not enough of it, but
Nope.
to continue working in the field of ABA, I think one of the things that's helped me like in my healing process is knowing that I'm making a difference in these people's lives. I work with younger kids, so
and their families
their families. Yeah. Like, I mean, like, I have families that, once I give their kid back to them and I tell them, how their session went, it's just like, I can't thank you enough for what you've done for my kid.
Yeah.
Like things like that. So to continue working in the field, to continue to learn and grow on a personal journey, find things that make me happy.
You're going back to kickboxing.
Going back to kickboxing. I just came from there before filming here.
Do you still do any coaching of any sort?
So I told myself once the company that I was working at before, once they shut down, like, I was going to stop my journey coaching. But then by fate, I got an opportunity to work literally right down the road at a new place that's opening up. A lady I used to coach is now opening up her own studio with her son.
Full circle moment.
With her son. She offered me a position there, and I said, I'm in grad school and I work basically full time, so I only have time on Sundays. And she was like, I don't care. She's like, whatever you can give me. I want you. I'm asking you to come work. So
that's so cool.
Yeah. So I came from there today. We had our opening day, and I feel like the last couple months I've been in like this rut, and it's because I haven't had any type of like thing to be a part of, like, to look forward to. Yes. And like this came at a moment where I was like, oh my God, like time works in such like mysterious ways where I was
it might just be what you need.
Yeah. And I can
get you out of the rut.
I can already feel it.
That was this podcast project for me.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel very like grateful that I get to do it again. Yeah, I don't know. Still like hopefully out of my house with my parents, like maybe living on my own somewhere, but with the way this world is, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
But
make the plans.
Don't rush to leave the house.
I'm not. No.
Real estate in Massachusetts, gotta love it, huh?
Oh my God, it's brutal right now.
Yeah. But yeah, just to continue to learn and grow more about myself and put myself first in
every scenario,
in work, in life, in everything, in relationships, and just yeah.
If you could tell a young woman stuck in a relationship like the one you were in, that's watching this right now, listening to you, identifying this whole time.
Yeah.
What do you want to say to her?
Just get out.
Run, Forrest, run.
No, just get out safely. Like, do not put yourself in a situation where it's kind of the situation where you're going to do something uncomfortable. Like, this person has told you, if you leave me, X will happen. Or if you leave me, like, you'll never be loved. Like, whatever the situation was or is for anyone watching this that was in a similar situation as me. Like, there is another side without that person there. And it's so much brighter. It's so much better. Whether you think it now or not. Like, I didn't think it at the time because of how, what's the word? Like love bombed. But it took Jessica. It took my mom. It took even my dad to be like, no, like, I'm telling you no.
Yeah.
And if you weren't honest with those people,
if I wasn't
they would never
honest,
have had those opportunities to speak those truths to
She
you.
would have gone
Exactly.
to the school and then just been stuck there.
I would have
and
been stuck.
miserable.
Yeah, I would have been stuck there. I would have been miserable, and you know, confide in people that you trust, whether you've known them for a month, whether you've known them for years and years, whether they're a family member, like confide in someone that you know will be able to give you the support that you need, because you're going to need it, especially if you feel like nothing, like if there's nothing inside of you that's telling you to like get out of it. Yeah, just, you know, find an outlet, you know, like for me it was kickboxing, but find something that makes you whole again, you know. Yeah. Whether that be, you know, talking therapy, whether that be kicking something until it falls to the ground, which is what I love to do. You know, I don't know.
You journal too, though, right?
I do journal. This is one of them, but I have another one. It doesn't lock, but it has like that, like the
latch
elastic thing. I do journal quite often, so that's like another outlet that I look forward to at night. Reading, that stuff like that. So yeah.
Now, self-reflection and goal setting is a key component to moving forward. And it's not about reaching the goal; it's about the journey to get the journey you're on, working towards that goal.
Yeah.
And as I said earlier, falling on your face, there's nothing to be ashamed about.
Yeah, no.
You know.
Now I know that.
but that hollow feeling you're left with at the end of the day when you're not doing anything for yourself, and if the voice is louder, that's telling you you're not worth it, and there's a little tiny voice inside you saying, "Yeah, but you got to try." You know, you got to be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and the people that are watching this, you know, I hope this struck a nerve in you, where you might have to look in the mirror at this point and decide what you want to do. And is this the person you wanted to be 5 years ago? Nobody wakes up in the morning saying, "Can't wait to be told I'm worthless. Can't wait to get smacked in the face. Can't wait to walk into a volatile situation where I don't know what's going to happen."
Right.
My ego to think I ever could think that way about myself is crazy, but I have, you know?
Elaborate on that.
Just like the duality of egocentric with an inferiority complex.
Yeah.
I might not be much, but I'm all I think about. You know, like getting to such a place where I do hate myself. It is, you know, how did I get here? But what you're saying about that conversation, it starts with having the conversation with yourself.
Right?
Yeah.
And hating yourself, hate is easy. Anger is easy. Forgiving is hard.
Yeah.
Right? And
moving on is hard too.
Moving on is hard. Setting goals is hard. None of this is easy. Life is not easy. You know, that's why we cherish it. That's why it's so valuable. That's why it's so amazing. Every day is amazing. Can be, you know, depends
just on your mindset.
Yeah. You know, and you might have to start going to a shelter. You might have to start calling the DA's office, talking to the victim witness advocate. There are resources out there. And what stops a lot of people is the shame, is the labeling, is the ego. That's like, well, what will my friends think? What will my parents think? You know, type thing. And
dude, we're living in a time now where you can just have a very intelligible conversation with an AI and like, you know, talk it out with an AI first. It's secure, it's private, you know, like.
Well, Dangerous Road, you heard about that. I don't know if you heard about this, but like there are a bunch of teenagers that committed suicide.
Yikes, I didn't.
Because of them talking to the AI.
I
was very supportive of them.
Oh God.
In planning,
my God.
No, you can do it.
Oh, didn't it give them instructions on how to tie something? Yeah.
Oh,
that's scary.
So that's a very talk to a real person.
I'm glad.
Talk to a real person,
somebody
please. Let's just put it that way.
Google me.
Yeah.
I have open slots.
Reach out to one of us.
You know, find
We're
a therapist
here to help you.
You know, but go to a real person.
Yes.
You know, and get a real perspective.
Clinical professional, non-clinical professional. Thank you, Mahesh.
We need to hit the brakes on that one. No AI. No,
Yeah,
that's
no.
wrong. But
Reach out to support groups. I mean, I never like did that. But like I know that there's so many of them
That are out
and
there,
that
yeah.
are
Well, you
out
didn't
there
know you
and-
had one in your own family.
right,
No, I
Yeah,
didn't. At the
and-
time, I didn't. Like, she
Right.
was just there, and
it goes
you know,
back to that community
yeah,
that
exactly,
you need to find. That's right in front of you sometimes.
exactly, yeah,
You know, but there's also the factor of like, get over yourself. Just get over yourself.
That's the hardest part, is getting over yourself.
It
That's the
is.
hardest part, is acknowledging that there's a problem, that you need to fix it, and you just need to fucking hunker down, buckle up, and do it.
The cultural angle on this is huge.
Oh,
like
yeah.
what I grew up with, like domestic violence, that I saw in so many different households, and that was just, and everyone knew it.
Just nobody talked
Everyone
about
knew
it.
this. You know, this auntie was getting smacked around by her husband.
Poor
you know,
auntie. I don't
yeah,
like
poor
that.
auntie, yeah.
Yeah.
But like several of them, and you know, everyone kind of like looked the other way. You know, and focused on, so what'd your kid get on their SATs? You know, I don't know, weird conversations. But people ignore the truth when it's right in front of them, you know, and you're left with, I should have said something. I should have done something. And you should. You should be there. You should reach out. You should be a good person, you know, and cause discomfort.
Yeah.
You know, shake it up a little bit.
yeah,
Saying, hey, this guy's being a whatever to this person. It's not just guys to women. Like, they're,
yeah. Girls to
you know,
Yeah.
there's abuse, there's emotional abuse, there's, you know, parents to kids, you know,
Yep.
treat them like dirt on a daily basis. But
if it's going through what I'm going through right now with my 5-year-old, it's kids versus parents right
I was
now.
gonna say it might be kids versus parents for Jessica.
well, yeah, there is that.
Piggybacking off of what Mahesh is saying, like just like the how uneducated I was about a lot of like these very simple mental health concepts and like mental health hygiene concepts, like that I just even a couple of years into like my professional life, like just clueless about. And you know, knowing about, you know, dismissive avoidant, you know, relationship types, or anxious attached relationship types, or you know, getting a minor education on like narcissistic abuse and what that looks like, you know, and
that's huge. Yeah.
Learning,
know,
yeah.
breadcrumbing, or, you know, things that like you just might be letting kind of control your emotional nature that you're not even aware of. You just don't even see it. And
Yeah.
just simply getting educated on those things can make a huge difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Haley, I want to thank you for your time. You know, thanks for coming on. It takes a lot of guts,
Thank you.
to open up and share your experiences. And I hope the people that are watching, I hope they got something out of it.
Yeah.
And I look forward to reading your comments in the comment section. So please drop us a line and let us know what your thoughts are on this. And if anybody needs assistance, let us know, and we'll personally email you links as how you can help yourself if you're unfortunately stuck in a situation where there's domestic violence going on in your lives. But I mean, on an ending note, it all boils down to you finding the opportunity to rediscover yourself and to move forward. And that's what it's about. It's reminding yourself that you're worth it. It's reminding yourself that you have a future and fighting for that future. And you have to carve that out.
Yeah.
That takes work. And that's not easy. But if you have a community around you, that's what you need to rely on.
Yeah.
You know, to move forward. And those are simple increments, you know, and you need to define that. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys for our next episode. Peace.